homelessness is never, ever the root issue. It's always downstream of something else. Realistically, you could come in off the streets if you were a single mom, spend 18 to 24 months at the Village of Hope, and really make a step forward and begin your life anew, and then move into the House of Hope, where you're now paying a program fee every month. You're responsible for preparing your own food, and it's kind of the next step. You could almost spend 4 years in one of our programs or campuses before you move on. So there is a real emphasis on making sure that we don't throw people out there too soon. We understand that transformation takes time. We understand that sobriety takes time, and that sometimes when people are getting sober for the first time in a long time, they just need to be safe for a while. They need to be in an environment where the temptations of the world aren't going to be able to get to them as easily. And so being a privately funded organization where there's no real need to turn over people quickly, we understand that things take time, and we're able to minister to people at a level that they need.
I love that. And that's the perfect example of a wraparound service. You kind of wrap around the client and walk with them so that as they transition from the transitional housing or from that shelter back into society, when they hit those bumps and bruises along the way, they're sheltered so it isn't as painful. You know, they can learn the lesson without completely just falling apart and falling back to that beginning space.
I think what I'm thinking about as I'm listening to you, Bryan, is how all of these things are predicated on really the idea that homelessness isn't probably their main problem. Homelessness is sort of a result of other problems that they're experiencing. And you guys are really trying to help people. Your solution isn't, well, let's just give them a home. Your solution is, let's look at your life and see how we can simultaneously improve your situation by helping you improve yourself, but also dealing with the root causes that got you to homelessness in the first place. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I will go so far as to say that homelessness is never, ever the root issue. It's always downstream of something else, whether it be mental illness, drug abuse, broken families. Human trafficking is a big one these days. It's always downstream of that. And so acknowledging that is the first step in truly helping people and truly ministering to them the way that Jesus calls us to minister to people. That you're right, Krista, to just give someone the keys to a house and say problem solved, well, it may temporarily get them off the streets. It does not get to the root, and more than likely, they're going to be back out on the streets in another year or two anyway, if you don't get to the root. So not only is it not the kindest and most compassionate thing to do, it's also probably not the smartest thing to do. That if you're going to try to address the problem, address it at its root and not just the symptom.
And that for me is what's so important, because I see so many efforts to help homelessness that to me only address kind of the cosmetic issue of the home. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't get to the root of it and really helping to reposition people. That's why I'm so such a believer in what Bryan and his team are doing there, because they like he says, transition takes time, transformation takes time, and we have to give people that time.